What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I will be reviewing Speed. So Speed came out in 1994 and it was directed by crap. Who directed Speed? It was directed by Jan de Bont, and it tells the story of a terrorist who has put a bomb on a bus, and if the bus goes under 50 miles per hour, it will explode. And Keanu Reeves, our main character, a cop, has to race against time to hopefully save everyone on the bus and disarm the bomb. And that gives us one of the best action films ever made. I had actually never seen Speed until a few days ago. I got that Blu-ray for Christmas and I was really looking forward to seeing what this film was going to offer because I had heard so many things about it but from very minimal sources. And I'm so happy that I got it for Christmas and that I was finally able to watch it. We had a family movie night the very next night. We all watched it and this film just absolutely blew me away. It's also right up my alley. I love films like this that are simple, to the point, there is a common goal, and it is nothing but thrills the entire film. All taking place mostly in one location. From the very beginning of this film, you are immediately thrown right into the action. I love the opening credit sequence of this film. Instead of having it just be a black screen and just, you know, extremely boring, over prolonged opening credits, they actually have it immediately be relevant to the story. It's this very long shot of a camera panning down an elevator shaft all the way down the floors of this skyscraper, and each time the beam passes by, another name pops up. That was a really clever way to do it. It was relevant to the story, and it was also, you know, they were also able to get the opening credits out of the way and make them entertaining. It was actually very clever. You're introduced to your main character pretty quickly, the plot gets moving extremely fast, almost right from the beginning. And then from then on, this film is nothing but an extremely tense, nail-biting action thrill ride. Now, this film is not a character drama in any way. It is a straight up action film, but nevertheless, the two lead performances in this film are actually pretty great. Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, they actually have pretty good chemistry with one another. I enjoyed, you know, watching them communicate and try to figure out how to solve the situation. But that's not the main goal of this film. The goal of this film is to present you with amazing action sequences with very inventive camera work and extremely practical sets and stunts. This film is just amazing set piece after amazing stunt after amazing set piece after amazing stunt over and over and over again, but it never gets repetitive because each sequence is so well shot and edited that it just keeps you sucked in the entire time. I really enjoyed seeing Keanu Reeves try to figure out how to get out of some of these situations because some of them are pretty hopeless, at least they seem to be when they happen. There was a lot of moments in this film where I was like, you are smart. Like, that is legitimately clever. And it makes it's so refreshing. It's very nice to have characters that you can actually root for because they're not idiots. Now, there is one lady on this bus who's not so smart, who's actually kind of an idiot, but it's fine because, I mean, no spoilers obviously, but let's just say she's not in the film very long. I mean, I get it, like, she was in a panic, you know, she was extremely, like, up in arms about the situation, and she just wanted to get off the bus, and, I mean, she succeeded, but anyway, I was really impressed with how many different situations they could come up with, because when you just hear it, like, you know, pitched like this, it's like, bomb on a bus, if it goes under 50 miles per hour, it explodes, the entire movie takes place on a bus. You're like, oh, that's so cool, wait a second. How much can we really do with that, though? Apparently, you can actually do quite a bit, because there are some extremely creative and inventive situations that they were able to create for this film. This is honestly one of the best action plots of all time, because the main character never has a second to rest. If this bus goes under 50 miles per hour, everyone's dying. So that constantly keeps you on edge, because what if you're coming up on a red light and there's car stops? You gotta keep on going 50 miles an hour. How are you gonna get around that situation? What if you're running out of gas and the bus is just gonna automatically shut down? This terrorist is watching the entire time. He has eyes on them the entire time. If someone other than Keanu Reeves exits the bus, he's gonna detonate it. And having all these reasons why characters can't do things, because if they do them, they're all going to die, really makes for good suspense and tension, because you're just waiting, like, you're just gripping the edges of your seat the entire time watching it, like, oh my god, like, please don't slip up. Now, obviously, there is a very famous scene in this film, so I'm going to discuss it not in detail, but it's so famous that even if you haven't seen it, you know about it. But don't worry, it's not a character death or anything like that. Not mega spoilers here. There is a scene in this film where they are on the interstate, and part of the interstate there is a 50-foot gap. The road just cuts off, and it's like, you know, a very long drop. They have to keep on going, and they gotta try to jump that gap. This is one of the most impressive stunts ever done for any film because they actually did it. I am not kidding. I watched the special features on the Blu-ray. They actually drove a bus over a 50-foot gap. Why don't they do stuff like that anymore? I mean, come on. I mean, like, very few directors are doing stuff that practically now. In Tenet, this is one of the reasons why I thought Tenet was so great. All the practical stuff, Christopher Nolan actually purchased a 747 plane and actually crashed it for Tenet. There was no CGI there. Similar with Speed, they actually had a real bus and a real 50-foot gap and jumped the bus over the 50-foot gap with a stunt driver inside. I mean, come on! Also, this film ages like a fine wine. There is not that, like, one cheesy one-liner or, like, extremely over-the-top cheesy sequence that makes you think, oh, it's a cheesy action movie. You know, like, this isn't Con Air. You know, it's not Point Break. I mean, don't get me wrong, Con Air is extremely entertaining, and Point Break, I actually feel, is a legitimately, like, really good film. But you get what I'm saying. When you watch those films, you can tell they're, like, straight up 90s all the way. When I watch Speed, I don't feel that way because the film actually feels very realistic. And a lot of that is because of the practicality. A lot of it feels real because it is real. I can guarantee you that if the bus jump scene in this film, or even the part where Keanu Reeves jumps from the car onto the bus, if either of those had been done in CGI, people probably would have watched that and been like, that's not possible, that would never happen. But no, it was done practically. Keanu Reeves, well, I don't know if he did it himself, but a stuntman made the jump onto the bus, and they drove a real bus over a real 50-foot gap. The fact that it was done practically makes it feel so realistic, and when you're watching it, you can be like, I believe that that could happen. And that's what really grounds this movie in reality and makes it all the more enthralling to watch. Speed is one of the best action films ever made. It is a non-stop, nail-biting thrill ride from the very beginning. I have no issues with this film. Like, nothing at all. You know, I've heard people criticize it, you know, saying the characters don't really have a lot to them. It's like, this isn't a film where character backstory is necessary. You know, I cared about these people and I wanted them to succeed because I could actually relate to them. Like, they were smart, they were clever, they had common sense. And for a film like this, and for what it's trying to do, that's all I require. So in the end, Speed was absolutely amazing. One of the best 90s action films, and one of the best action films ever made, in my opinion. Let's grade this thing. I am going to give Speed an A+. So guys, Speed, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Comment below and let me know. Also, what is your favorite action film from the 90s? And also, what's your favorite Keanu Reeves movie? Thanks so much for watching, guys. It really does mean a lot. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, keep writing, keep shooting, and keep editing.